Welcome to another edition of Big Ten in 10. 10 minutes on the clock with two standouts and luminaries from the Iowa women's basketball program. Head coach Lisa Bluder in her 21st season, and one of the rising stars in Big Ten women's basketball this season, Caitlin Clark, a freshman from West Des Moines, Iowa. Ladies, thank you very much for your time. And Caitlin, let's get right into it. You're already a four-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week and a three-time Big Ten Player of the Week. By the way, we're only 5 weeks into the season. Have you surprised yourself with your level of success so far?
So. I set the bar pretty high for myself. I had big goals. So just trying to achieve greatness every single day. And I think that's kind of what we've been doing. But overall, our goal is just to win every single day. So coming to practice and getting better.
You've been doing a lot of that. Look, triple-double already. You've got multiple 30-point games. What's been the coolest moment of your freshman year so far?
For sure, the Iowa State game when we came back from down 18 points to win that one was definitely special. And to clinch the state championship for sure was huge for us. And that was just a fun win for everybody in the locker room for sure.
Yeah, looking back at your high school career a little bit, I got to ask, the 60-point performance that you had, what's it like being in a zone like that?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. If somebody would have told me I was going to do that, I definitely wouldn't have believed them. And there's not much that I say I can't do. So that was pretty incredible. And it was a special game. And it was also a close game. And it was against one of my teammates here, Megan Meyer. So that was a fun game. She also had around, I think, 35 points in that game. So it was pretty much a score fest, not much defense, but it was a special game for sure.
Yeah, the Meyer family is another family name that Iowa fans are certainly very familiar with as well. And Coach, look, you've almost got 800 wins under your belt. You've been around this game a long time. Can you put Caitlin's success in a little bit of perspective for us, especially as a freshman, to be doing what she's doing in the conference that she's doing it in? What does that make you think of?
Yeah, I don't know that there's been a freshman that has come in and made an immediate contribution as much as Caitlin has. And I've had some really good freshmen come in here. You look at Sam Logic, who came in here as the 11th best player in the country, and she had a fabulous freshman year. But Caitlin has been able to contribute offensively more so than some other great freshmen that have come in here. So, and to have a triple-double, when you think about that, there's only been 10 in the history of our program. Okay, and I think we have a pretty storied program. And that's a very special accomplishment. And I'm really proud of her for that. But I expect to see a lot more, quite honestly.
No doubt. And hey, Caitlin, look, no pressure or anything like that. You know this as well as anybody, but the last 3 Big Ten Players of the Year have come from Carver Hawkeye Arena. So just saying, you've already set a pretty high bar, though, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. And you mentioned growing up in West Des Moines and specifically playing against Iowa State. That was one of the highlights of your freshman year already. And I know you've got a brother who plays for the Cyclones football team. So Iowa basketball obviously is so huge in the state, but was there an aha moment when you really said to yourself, okay, this is where I want to go. This is the right place for me?
Yeah, I think kind of definitely towards the end. It came down, it was a really hard decision just because I had so many options and they all seemed pretty good to me, but I wanted to be close to home. I'm close with my family, and just having them at all my games was important for me, and being able to get back home and go to my brother's football games and see my younger brother play was important for me. So when it definitely came down to the end, I knew for sure that I wanted to be here. And now that I'm here, I know this is right where I need to be.
What's the level of trash talk like with you and Big Brother now? Especially you were just home for the Christmas holiday. So do you guys exchange words or anything like that?
No, not yet. Well, since I've been here, Iowa and Iowa State haven't played in football, so I haven't been able to talk crap about that yet, but we wouldn't. We're each other's biggest fans, and he means a lot to me, so it's special to have that relationship with him.
That's awesome. And Coach, look, keeping talent in state is really important, not only because of how much prep talent there is in the state of Iowa, you know that as well as anybody, but also because of the emotional tie then that players and fans have with each other. So from a recruiting standpoint, why do you think it's so important to keep talent in-house, if you will?
I think you really have to. You have to keep your best players in the state if you can. And I know we're all trying to do that, but when I've often explained it like when you're an Iowa girl, like I am, Caitlin is, and when you put on that Iowa jersey and you walk out of the tunnel into Carver Hawkeye Arena, it's something really special. It's more than just wearing a uniform. It's more than just competing. You're representing your state. And as an Iowa girl, we're very proud of the history of our basketball program in this state. I mean, not just college, but high school. And we've had basketball in the high school since the 20s here in our state, 1920s, that is. So it's something that we're very proud of. And, you know, I think other players come from out of state and they have to learn that. They have to learn the love of representing this great university. But when you grow up in this state, it just comes a little bit more organically. That's
awesome. And again, when all else fails, if you have to make a trip up to Port Wing, Wisconsin, or a place like that to find Megan Gustafson, that works out pretty well also.
We converted her pretty well. She considers herself an Iowa girl now.
No doubt. One of the highlights of my play-by-play career was getting to do her final regular season game at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The crowd there is something I will never forget, the energy in that building. I mean, cannot wait to get back to that level of fan participation. And look, we're in the COVID era right now. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. And I wanted to ask both of you, and Caitlin, I'll start with you. What's been the most challenging part about playing basketball and or being a student athlete with all that's going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most challenging part is honestly, basketball hasn't been that hard for me just because I don't know any different. I haven't played in Carver with a whole bunch of fans yet, but I'm super excited for that. Just the challenge of having to be in a dorm room kind of by yourself. My roommate's gone or if she's there, but not going to class in person, that's different. I haven't had an in-person class yet. And just having to live in your bubble. There's not much you can do. We can pretty much just hang out with ourselves and our teammates. That's about all we can do right now. But other than that, I wouldn't say basketball has been too challenging. Just staying on lockdown is the biggest thing for sure.
What about you, Coach?
You know, for us, like Caitlin said, the freshmen don't know any differently, but we do. And we know what a special place Carver Hawkeye Arena is to play basketball. I mean, the last 2 years, we've been ranked 9th, 10th in the country in attendance at about 7,000 people a game. And we have an amazing atmosphere. And it's a great home court atmosphere. We haven't lost at home for 2.5 years. So it's something that, you know, we think that our fans contribute to that. And I want our fans to have the opportunity to see this team play. I want our fans the opportunity to cheer on Caitlin. I just think that, you know, that is such a special opportunity and one of the great reasons about being a Hawkeye. And so I'm anxious to get our unbelievable fans back here in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Caitlin, we've already mentioned some of the big names, of course, that have played for the program, even in recent years. But when you were growing up, who did you really gravitate towards? Who did you really enjoy watching?
I would say I was a big Maya Moore fan. I watched her. She played for the Lynx, that Lynx team with Lindsay Whalen, Simone Augustus, and all of them. I was a big fan of them. My dad took me to a few games, so I would watch a lot of that. Honestly, just a lot of college basketball. I'm not really a huge NBA person. I watch the NBA, but I would much rather watch college basketball. I think it's more competitive. The kids care a lot, and I just love college basketball.
And Coach, with everybody so distant and remote, have you tried to have a Zoom chat with a Megan Gustafson or a Kathleen Doyle or somebody like that? Or are you pretty much just treating this team as its own entity and letting them form the bonds and figure out the culture as a unit?
Yeah, we're really letting this team just kind of do their own thing. They're a pretty tight group already. And I think sometimes, you know, when you have things like a pandemic and you're forced to be together all the time, I mean, it can go one of two ways. And we're very fortunate here that the team bond is something special. I mean, the chemistry of this team, they truly are like a family. They look out for each other. They care about each other. And so I think that's been really good for us to even develop our chemistry, which I think has always been a strong point of our program is the camaraderie among the women and the joy that they play the game with. It's actually been developed even a little bit quicker because of our forced togetherness.
All right, we're coming up on 10 minutes. And Caitlin, we've given you some layups so far with the questions. So we're going to step outside the arc a little bit, ask you some harder questions here as we wrap up the show. But if you had $1 for the one thing Coach Bluder says the most, what would that phrase or catchphrase or slogan be?
Probably, oh, that's pretty. But she says that pretty often in practice about an assist, a shot, A nice play. She's a pretty positive coach, which is something I really like and admire about her. She's very quick to point out positive things that we do.
Well, there have been a lot of positives to point out. Am I right, Coach, this year in particular?
Yeah, there have been. And, when you talked about the Iowa State win and, Caitlin's step back three to put us up. I mean, that was pretty amazing. And that's one of those things I wish the Carver fans could see, because that was pretty basketball right there.
Well, listen, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us for Big 10 in 10. Caitlin, congratulations on a great start to your season and your career. We're really excited to watch going forward. And Coach, on behalf of Big 10 Nation, you're one of the great exporters of Iowa basketball and Iowa sports culture. So it's always great to talk to you, and looking forward to catching up with both of you in person down the road, hopefully soon later on in the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, this has been the latest episode of Big 10 in 10. Thanks for watching.